What's up? What's up? Welcome to Pillow Talk with Ken and Steph. How you doing today, sweetness?
I'm good.
Oh, snap. I'm here with the LW, light-skinned wonder, pretty and smell good. You hear me? Woo. Some of y'all jealous right now. Y'all need to be in her presence. How you doing? Okay. We're going to enjoy ourselves today, though. So what do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about being friends first.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is that to you?
It's very important. I feel like being friends sets the foundation for your relationship.
Have you always thought that way?
I mean, I've always thought it. I mean, I may not have acted upon it all the time, but I've definitely thought about it.
I will say, in my previous life, 20 years ago, probably not. Because, you want what you want, when you want it, how you want it, right? So I would say now, I think it's more important than ever because as I get older, I realize, sex can fade.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, the whole physical aspect of relationships, yeah, you want to always be attracted to your spouse, but that can fizzle.
Mm-hmm.
And if that foundation, that friendship, that bond is not there, it ain't gonna last.
It's not.
So do you know anybody who has been in a relationship or is in a relationship right now that's what they're basing it on, physical?
I know a couple people that are in a relationship right now who are in it, even though it's toxic, and they're staying because the sex is good.
Wow. Yeah. Have you ever done it?
No.
You never just stayed with a guy because he was putting it down one time?
No. I mean, I've been in a situationship, but that was business.
For y'all don't know, what is a situationship?
Where you got to understand it. You like, you know what? It's no relationship.
It's what it is.
This date, this the time. That's it.
I'm going to keep it 1,000. That's probably how my first daughter got here.
Mm-hmm.
I had a situationship. It wasn't no relationship. It was a situationship. You know what time it was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, it's high up there that you be friends first.
Yes.
What has happened in your past when you didn't start it off as friends?
It became physical first, and then throughout the relationship, you then begin to see, or I began to see the red flags and the triggers. And if I would have took my time to become friends with this person long enough, I would have been able to see these red flags and these triggers. But now, because we're physically involved, it's harder to remove yourself because you're physically involved.
Okay. Do me a favor. Excuse me. Can you push the edge of that out of frame, please? You so awesome. Look at that. Boom. And it gave you a little glisten on. Look, she glowing now, y'all. She glowing. You see, we still new at this. But I think it's vitally important to understand, like, I'm realizing how important friendships are because after the sex fade, I want to be able to watch TV with you, go on a walk, do different things from a friend perspective. Then I've been in situations where you have sex and then you want that person to go home.
Right.
Or that person wants you to go home. I don't care how good it is. You like, I got stuff to do. Like, you hanging around me is just really not it. You know what I mean? So I think that for me, when you start with a situationship, as we call it, I think we can see the red flags, but we end up ignoring them.
Right.
And I think I grew up with seeing that a lot around aunts and uncles. They was toxic as heck with their loved ones, but they stayed in it. And I think partly it's because they weren't friends. And the ones that did start as friends, even though they were toxic together, they're actually cool friends now. When the sex is not involved.
Right.
Do you think that's possible?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
I think a lot of people don't take the time to become friends without being physical. Because, if you're attracted to that person, of course you
get it popping. You know what I'm saying?
You want to be intimate with them, but I think it's very important to get to know that person first.
Right. And then you can really see if y'all have anything in common.
Yeah, you can see if this fool crazy. You can see if he a mama's boy. You can see.
First and foremost, what's wrong with mama's boys?
First of all,
it's a lot of good men out here raised by a mama.
No, I'm not saying that. Some mamas act like they son is they man.
I've seen that too.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. There's always, he'll run to his mama before he run to his woman when he got advice or making life-changing decisions. I'm like, okay, hello, right. I'm over here. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, you have a very, very valid point. She must have had some experience because she over here with the eye roll, neck twist, all that kind of stuff. But I get it. I think that when you become friends, you're more liable to come feeling like you can trust that person, and then you would come to them first before you go to anybody else. To be honest with you, I think it's one of the things that I don't like to do is bring a bunch of people into my relationships anyway.
I agree. Because
people always have their opinion of you, and I learned something a long time ago. You may forgive that person that you're in a relationship with, right? But say you run into your parents, friends, and whoever else, and a lot of times you haven't told them you forgave the person that you were upset at. Mm-hmm. So you go give them the bad information. They have this preconceived notion of you. And then when you come back around, you made up with your spouse, but your family ain't forgave you. Because in their mind, they're still pissed at you about God knows what and why.
Right.
Because they only heard the story lopsided, like one-sided. Right. What do you think about that?
Right. I think it's very important not to include everybody in your relationship, because some woman, and I've actually done it, I got advice from friends or family, and based upon the opinion that they gave me, I responded to my mate that way. I may not necessarily have agreed 100%, but based off what somebody else said, and because they were outside looking in, I took that home, and it didn't necessarily work out in my relationship. So I think it's very important that you communicate between you and your...
So how did you, when you brought back the information to the house, and did you wait for the right time to present whatever new information that you got? Or you just was like, you know what, I need to talk to this man after I got the information? You came in and just started talking to him?
No, I waited.
And what was his response even after you waited? Was it good or bad?
It was like, that's unfortunate that you think that way. And, I thought we had this, but clearly you're feeling some other kind of way.
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I just think that when we allow other people in our relationship, like, for example, I see people post a lot of their information on Facebook, and then they get mad when people have certain opinions of their relationship. It's an absolute no-go. Social media gets no access to my home life like that. You get, when we look at people's lives, they look all happy and everything's all hunky-dory. People tend to assume that relationship is perfect because they're only getting snippets of a person's life.
But let some pop off and one or the other post something, and everybody like, yeah, see, I knew they wasn't cool and blah blah blah. People don't care about your relationship. People don't care about you being happy, sad, broke, rich. They don't care about none of that.
Right.
If you posting that's entertainment. They just sitting there with their popcorn, watching your relationship unfold.
And I don't need none of the shenanigans. You know what I'm talking about? So it's your boy Ken and Steph in the building. Pillow Talk.